lovely having you gentlemen here today. So if we can speak up a little bit because the music is quite loud and we want our audience to hear us. Can you hear us fine, everyone? Yes? Okay. So I want to start with you, Mr. Muhammad. Perhaps we'll talk shortly about what's SWIC's role when it comes to mining. I mean, what has, converging water to mining?
Well, this is very interesting question, and usually when you hear about mining and water industry, what is the link between them? Well, given that Saudi Arabia, especially WCC, the biggest producer of desalinated water, that means that a lot of the minerals of the water, of desal water, which usually discharge, have great value. So we consider the brine mining as a technology within the normal maturity of the industry itself, especially in Saudi Arabia. It became recently feasible and very much feasible in Saudi Arabia, knowing that there is a huge amount of product and which make it profitable and improve the industry economics.
Great, and so reducing the cost, we're talking maybe Rakan here about investment opportunities, correct?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, brine mining will bring a lot of investment opportunity and will extracting the unutilized material that can be extracted from the brine will bring a new capacity, a new product to the market. So it will be cover also the demand locally and in the region. So it will be a lot of opportunity if we can extract these type of material and minerals, and also there is a lot of byproduct that we can produce from these materials and minerals can be extracted from the brine mining.
So we're talking about here some minerals that can be utilized as well, right?
It is let's say unutilized benefit of this kind of material and minerals because it's discharge of the byproduct of the desalination plant. And this concept actually aligned with the circular economy principle that we're trying to be efficient, that capturing any waste and or any unutilized resources that we have as a byproduct to increase our efficiency and increase our benefit to decrease our costs. I mean, yesterday, His Excellency Engineer Abdul Karim mentioned that we have an ambitious goal to go to zero production costs. How are we going to go there? By focusing in this principle, kind of the economic factor that play a big role to enhance the operation in this industry.
That's an amazing goal to have set, to have zero cost when it comes to water conversion, because Dr. M, perhaps you could tell us more technically how that can happen. I mean, when we are when having this process of water conversion and then extracting these minerals, how can we prioritize the minerals being extracted?
Yeah, actually we have two clear measures how to prioritize. The first one is the quantity. How much those minerals we have inside the seawater. You can easily imagine sodium chloride will be the most abundant minerals, but other than sodium and chloride, we have calcium, magnesium, bromine, potassium, lithium, rubidium. Those are the abundant minerals inside the seawater. And another measure is the market value. Because market value high means there is opportunity we can invest and build the harvest system, and we can get profit from this. So we have two clear measures, and those minerals are our interested minerals.
And doctor, does the prioritization of minerals change depending on the market's demand on minerals?
Exactly. And also that depends on the other ground mining resource availability and the existing technologies as well. For example, one time, early 20th century, sometimes magnesium was harvested from sea already. So technology was there. But later on, when the magnesium ground mine is more pound, then the competitiveness became weak, and then people were more into the ground mining. But now we are talking about sustainability, and even from the seawater mining side, more technologies are well advanced. So now we can talk about how about magnesium-related salts or metal harvest from seawater.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Doctor. Mr. Yu, we want to talk to you about more technical stuff. How about let's talk about relative advantage of seawater mining compared to conventional ground mining.
Yeah, actually, seawater mining has a lot of relative advantages. Well, when we think about a traditional industrial mining process, it is quite, it has a lot of actually adverse impact on our environment. For example, they use a lot of groundwater, and also they use land, and their land use and change will permanently perhaps degrade the land itself, and also it uses a lot of energy, and also they need to think about waste and waste disposal and their management as well. One of the good examples is the copper mines in Chile. After a while, they realized that their copper mines, they use a lot of groundwater, and groundwater level decreased, and the local farmers suffer from the consequences.
Oh.
But when we talk about seawater mining, we produce water instead
Right.
of using it. And also, seawater mining is also known to use less amount of energy, and also it's easier to engage renewable energy sources because it is simply just a standardized membrane technologies. It is basically the extension of the desalination process, which means if we can decarbonize desalination industry and process, we can definitely decarbonize seawater mining process as well.
Lovely, that's interesting. And coming back to you, Mr. Muhammad, I believe that process is only possible here in Saudi Arabia, correct?
Yes, it's relatively right, your statement. Given, as I mentioned earlier, the huge amount of produced water. And by doing this program, we are hitting a lot of targets. The circular economy, environmental, minimizing the environmental or improving the environmental conditions in the coastal area and the other, and also we improve the economical sides of the industry, not just only to gain a profit from it, also to reduce the cost for producing the drinking
Which
water.
the goal is zero cost. I
Yeah,
think. I do
that's
want to talk to you about the economic impact of it all, but could we start with localization of the sector, perhaps?
Yes, let me give you one example. One of the important minerals, it's the bromine. That it is very critical for other industries because you see it's all overlapped between agriculture industry, water desalination industry, and oil and gas industry. That is very critical, especially in the drilling process. We are currently we are importing 100% of this important material for the drilling process. We expect by the end of our program that we'll have it 70 up to 80% localized in Saudi Arabia. This is only the magnesium itself also 100% imported. It is very important for heavy industries, for skeletons, for constructions. So
is the goal to stop importing these things and perhaps just have a sufficient use of the minerals, or the goal is to export maybe?
well, our ambition at least to reach a certain level of localization
Okay.
and to add to our GDP.
Okay.
It's expected by the end of this program to add up to 8 billion
Wow.
Saudi riyal to our GDP by improving this. And also there is other side of the equation, which is the strategical importance of this
Yeah.
element. When you talk about a critical element for drilling, which is important, and for heavy industries, for even for agriculture additives. This is very important aspect. We should shed the light to it and focus on it and
It's
add it to
absolutely- It's absolutely one of Saudi vision of 2030
That's true.
to localize as many sectors as possible. Absolutely. So you touched on circular economy, and maybe
Yes.
Rakan, I want to talk to you more about that. How can we create the circular economy when it comes to SWIC and water conversion and mineral extractions?
I mean, complete what my colleagues mentioned earlier, that focusing on unutilized, let's say, material or resources that we are producing, and also it's a byproduct that come by the industry itself. And bringing a new material that make it sufficient for the local demand, as my colleague Abu Abdurrahman mentioned, the calcium bromide, which is used for oil and gas industry. If you go through Activa website, you will see the number one to be localized is the calcium bromide, which can be produced from the bromine that can produce from the mining itself. So this it can cover the circular economy and bring the efficiency to the level that we are looking for, to bring also innovative solution and find another area of innovation. When we reach a level, definitely we will find another area to, find another waste that is not being, utilized as a waste, then utilize it.
Yeah, that's lovely. Well, that brings me back to you, Dr. M. Let's talk about technology used to extract minerals needed, and that's used from the water conversion process.
Yeah, actually, if we want to harvest those interesting minerals from the seawater, there are two things important technically. The one thing is when you harvest those minerals, how much purity you can get, because the market price is totally different depending on the purity. And the other one is how much concentration we have in seawater or in our brine, because more concentration means it's easier, more cheaper to harvest those minerals. And what is good when we integrated those seawater mining with our existing desalination plant is when you have desalination plant, in its desalination brine, already all the minerals are 70% higher concentrated, which makes a difference than other conventional mining trial from seawater, which just has to deal with seawater only than here. And in our R&D center in SWCC, we have developed new technologies since 5 years ago. Two major membrane technologies, nanofiltration and membrane brine concentration technologies. Membrane nanofiltration efficiently separates ions, and brine concentration technology consumes only half of the energy than the conventional concentration technologies. So those are what we are working on, and we already have 4 registered patents.
Lovely, please, Mr.
Adding
Rakan.
to
Yes.
the doctor point, even it's different than traditional mining. Traditional mining has a life cycle, which is you start to explore, then you develop, then you extract the material, then it will be finished.
Yeah.
But in the brine mining, it's sustainable, it's
Yes.
continuous. We will going to produce water
It's
and
circular, so to
byproducts.
speak.
We
Yeah.
will
Exactly.
have the brine, so it's a continuous process for sustainable material and minerals.
That's lovely. That contributes perhaps to the economical impact we were talking about, Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Yu, I'll get back to you about the potential perhaps that we can navigate using seawater minerals.
Yes, nowadays, during green energy transition period, some of the minerals are quite rare and become more and more popular when it comes to like battery manufacturing or other like water electrolysis for green hydrogen production system, etc., etc. In seawater, everything is there, and as technology is evolving, there are more chance to harvest different kind of materials in the future, in near future. And also one of the beauty in seawater mining is that we are using seawater, and seawater is everywhere. So we can actually, provide kind of equal opportunity for the countries, those who was not in the past mainly participating in the mining industry. So in those countries, once they can apply this seawater mining process, they can produce water, and also they can harvest some important minerals as well. Although SWCC Vitira, we are the innovation powerhouse in terms of seawater mining process. We developed a lot of different kind of technologies, but we are really, really happy for other countries to apply our technologies and increase our collaboration horizons.
That's lovely. So that's an invitation to whoever is interested
Of
to
course.
use the experts we have and use the technologies we have, the minerals, and all the process that goes with it right here in Saudi Arabia.
Of course.
Now, back to you, Mr. Muhammad. We cannot really talk about major economic impact without talking about supply chain. Now, we know that the world is going through a rough time, especially the region, but perhaps Saudi Arabia and the countries of the region can use that to their advantage, being at the center of everything, being the crossway of every country. So how can we create that stable, sustainable supply chain?
Yeah, this is a good point to raise. We've been experiencing last 5 years a lot of interruption and disturbance to our supply chain, especially in water industry and also oil and gas industries. My colleague engineer Rakan, he mentioned that there are a number of critical elements and goods and products and equipment. We consider it critical to our economy, and we should have a certain level of localization to keep it sustainable and within our reach. So brine mining, it's provide number of these elements and materials, as mentioned by our colleagues, the professors and the Rakan. It is important for oil and gas, for drilling, for magnesium. It is very important. Also sodium chloride, also very important for number of industries, and most of it's very critical to us. So that's part of our criteria. It is the economical feasibility and how critical it's to our economy to make us invest and push it further to make it more feasible to our economy.
And that's what you mentioned earlier, Mr. Muhammad. Yani it is expected to generate, from seawater minerals, are expected to generate 8 billion riyals in 2030, just from the
SWIC, only from SWIC program.
Exactly, just from the SWIC program. So imagine how much revenue if there are other companies also using the same technology and process.
Exactly.
Mr. Rakan, in your perspective, what is, including what Mr. Muhammad mentioned, that could increase and the economical impact of SWIC?
I mean, it's a joint effort. Process. If we want to go through this new industry or new aspects.
Mr. Rakan, government collaborations also should have an impact too.
Yeah, there is a case with us. In terms of the collaboration between us and the government and also the private sector, the brine mining, when we start the investment opportunity, we get the support from, and thanks for them, the Non-Oil Revenue Development Center. They ease to us and provide us the necessary approvals to provide this investment opportunity to our investors. And also we get, a huge support from Ministry of Investment. And now potentially we will signing a new industry and a new contract with 2 potential investors for the brine mining in Ras Al Khair.
That's lovely news. That's really lovely news. And we heard also His Excellency the Governor yesterday announcing also contracts that being made here today at the FMF. That's lovely news. Dr. M, let me get back to you. Now, before I wrap up this round, I would like to hear some last words from you to our guests, technically speaking, and what kind of investments and perhaps technology or any technical sides that you might want to see.
Yeah, actually, the seawater mining has highlight even in the not only here in Saudi Arabia, but also, for example, in the European Union, they have 2 major international collaboration projects called like C4 value or circular mining, considering circular economies. And because of the recent development, especially in the membrane technology and the fractional crystallization technologies, yeah, still not yet. Maybe some of our interested minerals, for example, we are interested in lithium, but harvesting lithium, not yet competitive to the ground mining. But nowadays, it's really booming up, and the really technologies are really booming up all over the world. So I hope everyone please join this journey so that we can accelerate this commercialization of the process and we can eventually achieve the circular economy.
Yes, eventually, hopefully, yes. Dr. Yu, what about you, about the potential of seawater minerals and where do you see the future of it going? Now, we know that the seawater minerals being extracted can be used to support creating other minerals or metals like aluminum, for example.
Yes, of course. The important thing is that we are utilizing readily available technologies. Although we are developing some new technologies, but most of our process we are utilizing readily available technologies. For instance, like my colleague Dr. Im mentioned, in the lithium mining industries, there are actually a lot of growing concerns about their environmental impact. So nowadays the technology and mining process is moving to direct lithium extraction technology, which is in combination with chemical process and membrane process. So it's membrane process. So there are certain things that we can contribute in that mining process as well. So this kind of membrane technology can be utilized in various industries elsewhere other than seawater mining. So even for the brine mining in Bolivia or Chile or Argentina, it's kind of universal platform of the technology, you can say.
That's good to know. That's really well said. Mr. Muhammad, perhaps I'll have last words from you, whatever you want to say to our guests here today and whoever is interested in this field and this process.
Actually, I'd like to call all the interested in this economy and water economy and all the industries related to water to join us in this effort to improve this, and I'd like to say it has become more and more trendy, and it will be part of our production process in a near future. So join our efforts, join our research effort to have more prosperity in our industry and for the good for all nations and our nation especially.
Perfect. And Engineer Rakan, perhaps I will wrap the session with you. I want you to tell me more about the benefits of this process of having this circular, so to speak, system, let's say on the environment, how it's good and healthy for the environment, it's good and healthy for the minerals itself, it's good and healthy for the seawater and the conversion of water as well, right?
I mean, it is, let's back again to what we mentioned earlier. It is unutilized, it is there. So it is unutilized materials and minerals that can support and help the full picture of the industry. I mean, if we see the desalination plant in the previous, we just producing water and take the brine to the sea. However, they figure out within thanks also for the research and development, they figure out now there is a lot of materials and minerals that can be found and can benefit us. So looking in that and going to a commercial way, which is here the challenge, it is all about the cost. It's a plus minus. And the material that going to be produced exists in the market. And the challenge is that producing these chemical and efficient cost that can also increase the capacity of these materials and minerals in the market.
That's really lovely and well said. I mean, as a person who's not in that field, I feel really interested and thrilled to hear all these details, speaking whether it's generally or technically, really, it's so interesting and it seems like really fun. Do you get to dive into the seawater or no, there's no diving in the water? No diving?
I mean, you can dive in seawater. I dive in the seawater. I mean, we have the best beauty, the Red Sea. The best,
exactly.
I mean,
the best diving spots.
I was in Cyprus, and some people they ask me where you have been diving. I say Red Sea. He said, I mean, there is no more. I mean, the Red Sea that
I agree.
Comparing with any sea.
Exactly. Anybody here tried diving in the Red Sea? Yes, good job. You guys should try it. You're gonna love it.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a wrap for our session. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you enjoyed it. Thank you very much to my panel, my dear guests, gentlemen. It was a lovely conversation. I hope our dear guests you enjoyed it. Thank you. My panel, dear guests.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Shukran.